Hello and welcome. My name is Charles Drexler. I'm the creator of Absolute Win. Absolute Win is a web platform. Hello, there I am. Hello, my name is Charles Drexler, and I am the creator of Absolute Win. Absolute Win is a web platform for content that inspires personal change and promotes health, wellness, and sustainability. So you can learn more about this initiative at www.absolute-win.com. Today we are working on our D.I.Y. Oops. There we go. How's that? Today we are working on our D.I.Y. fairy house. Yay! That's this big chunk of boxes over here. Now, this is actually part 2 video, right? Part 1, we built this structure, so you can find that in the comments below. We built this structure, and today what we're going to do is we're going to work on shaping it, refining it, preparing it to be covered with paper mache, right? So I want to thank you for tuning in for this video. If you like what you see, please share. If you're watching this, thank you so much for being here. If you watched part 1 and came back for part 2, double thank you. Part 1 was a bit rough. It was my first live stream. This is my second. So thank you for being with me. And like I said, it really is important if you like what you see, please do share. Please do hit the like button. Please do sign up. I'm not going to email you a bunch of stuff, but if you can look for the website and the content, we would really appreciate it. So, okay. Like I said, today we're going to be working together on this project here. So the way this format is going to work is we're going to kind of talk about what we're going to do, and then I'm going to turn up the music, and then we're all going to work together. So if you want to find the parts that you need in the beginning and then turn up the music and jam with me while you do this at home, this whole thing is meant to inspire you to do your own creative projects at home, use recycled materials, all that kind of stuff. Have fun in life. That's really the whole point. Okay. So I wrote a little piece and I want to read it to you. As I said, this is my second live stream. So I'm very much working on the technology, and I'm working on the flow of kind of how this show goes and whether I even want to do it at all, to be honest. I'm happy to be here with you. But it got me thinking about practice, right? What is practice? Practice makes perfect. I watched the first video that I did, and I saw so many things that I would have done better. So here I am trying again to do better. What is practice? Practice makes perfect, right? Practice is the doing. Practice means doing something again and again, right? That's how you get to perfect, is by doing. So you want to be engaging your concentration. Practice is about engaging your concentration until you keep pursuing the ends until you get to the desired results. So that's the best I can do right now. What I actually wrote was, when they say the best way to learn is through practice, that means doing. Going over it again and again, each time engaging your concentration until you start to find the desired results. So I'm going to break that down a little bit. What was my thinking behind all that? As I said, practice is about doing, and you're engaging concentration. That's what's really important. You're going to see me over the next hour or so as I work on the next phase of this project. I'm going to be really concentrating on what I'm doing to advance this project, right? And concentration is to find a desired result, right? Sometimes we concentrate really hard and then we end up with something that we don't really want. And then you got to go back and redo. That's the practice part. So the first one is a little bit of a mistake. This one is a little bit of a mistake. They're going to continue to be mistakes until you kind of get to that practice makes perfect. So that's why it's really important for me to put this out there. I'm going to do a cut down. Filmmaking is a lot about being able to select only the best bits, right? So it takes a whole lot of work to get this thing put together. And I'm going to condense it all down into a fine cut for you here on YouTube. But I wanted you to be able to hang out with me while I do some of this project. So that's what we're going to do today. This video, as I said, is about doing. It's about doing two things. For me, it's about filmmaking. I've got all these cameras that I've set up here to help share this experience with you, right? I've got one camera here. I've got my FaceTime camera here. I've got a special overhead camera happening up here. And I've got another special camera back there. That's kind of the reverse. And this is the camera that I was operating here. I just did a terrible shot. That's my setup there. Look at that. So this camera is this D.I.Y camera over here. This is a Canon webcam or Canon DSLR that I turned into a webcam. So shooting over my shoulder right now. I'll show you camera A. So there's camera A. This is the webcam that's shooting at me. Now I will show you over here some special photography. Oh no! That's what happens with live stuff, right? It always goes wrong. That's my monitor up there, so I'm monitoring what's coming out of this camera. Okay, this camera back here. This one right here, this Blackmagic camera. That camera, if I pull out, you can see there's the box. That camera is capturing a time-lapse camera. And so when you see the cut down, you're going to see all this footage in time-lapse, right? But again, like I said, I'm sharing this with you. This is part of my filmmaking practice. So let's talk about the box making, fairy house making practice. That's the next important part, right? Let's get to that. Okay, really quickly, I want to talk about some of the tools that I'm going to be using today, because you can't do this kind of work without the right kind of tools, right? First one that I'm going to share with you, in no particular order, I'm going to start with this. This is called a spirit level, or just a level. And the way these work are when it's level or flat, the bubble is going to appear in the middle between these two lines. If the bubble is too high on one side, that means it's not level. And you can get a number of different ways. Is it level going vertically? Is it level going horizontally? Or you can even see is it level kind of on a 45-degree angle. So I'm going to do this because this box here, this fairy house, I can see once I put it together that there were parts of it where it's not quite level, and we're going to put another roof on top, so that might even make it more level, off level. So what we're going to do is kind of shim it up, and we're going to use some next tool. We're going to use some glue and hot glue. Okay, let's go back to FaceTime. This is our hot glue gun, hot glue. This is the glue part. It's not hot right now because it's not plugged in. But the way this works is when you push this trigger, then it pulls this glue tube into the heated part, right? And once it gets up to the heated part, then it melts out. I have this little handy tray nearby. This is an old piece of plastic that would normally go into the recycling. I'm going to use this to kind of hold the gun while it's hot, because if you've ever used a hot glue gun, hot glue will leak out of here when you're not using it. You'll kind of use it a little bit and set it down, and it might drip out. You don't want it to drip out on your stuff. So that's my hack for today, is to get a little holder for your hot glue gun. Let's go back to our tools here. Okay, so we talked about these. These are part of the hot glue. This is my favorite tool. I talked about it in the last video, and we're going to talk about it again. This is my favorite tool. This is called an awl. A-W-L is how it's spelled. A-W-L. And it's basically just a pointed piece of metal, similar to a screwdriver, but it all just comes up into a point, but it's not a super sharp point, right? And an awl is used for, and on the other side is a piece of wood, a wooden knob. So that's what it is. It's kind of like you hold this knob and you can use it to poke things, poke holes, poke stuff. And what's great about an awl, so for this purpose, what's great about it is I'm using it to poke holes in the cardboard that I'm going to run wires through. But an awl can kind of poke holes. You can poke a hole in drywall with an awl, and then like put a screw or whatever you're going to screw into the drywall, a nail. It can kind of hold a nail. It can kind of mark a spot if you're trying to hang a picture, maybe. Sometimes an awl. I use this all the time. No pun intended, but I guess pun given. I love, this was my grandpa's tool too, which you can see the wood, the way it's all kind of worn down. And let's see, can you see that? It's not focusing on the wood. I'll get a better shot of this awl, I promise you. But this thing has been used for probably 70 years or something like that. And you can see it still works, it's still in good shape. So this is my favorite tool. You got to be careful with these things. Never poke a person, never poke any thing that you don't want to poke, but definitely don't hurt people with this. Okay, so that's it for tools. That's all I've got. Oh no, there's one other tool that I wanted to talk about, and this is a tool we're going to make. I don't know if it's a tool or a part, maybe more of a part. We're going to use our box cutter, and then we're going to cut little strips. Like this, right? Little pieces like this. So we'll do that together. I'll turn the music up and we'll kind of do that all together. We're going to bend these, and then I'm going to show you how these are just little pieces of cardboard, little L-shaped pieces of cardboard. I'm going to show you how I'm going to be using these. Okay, so this pole here is meant to be like a chimney, or really there's a wire inside underneath it. And you can see it's not quite secure. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to take a hot glue gun. How can I show? I got to move the microphone so you can hear me while I'm explaining this. Okay, maybe you can hear that. So what I'm going to do is take these little pieces. They're basically going to sit kind of like that. And we're going to fasten them down with hot glue. So we'll go around and we'll do that in different spots. We're going to find different ways to reinforce that structure with hot glue. But first, our first part of this task is going to be measuring the second roof. There's going to be a roof that goes on top of this roof. Let's see if we can get a better shot of the roof. Maybe the E camera. Okay. See, this roof has wire all across the top. We're going to put another box on top of this one, and we're going to poke only these 4 pieces of wire are going to poke through, so that we can see when the wire comes through. We're going to make a handle. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know what I started to say, but what we're going to do is make 2 little handles out of those wires. Okay, let me check my notes. Is there anything else I need to tell you? No, I wanted to show you the tools. Like I said, there's going to be 2 things that we're going to be working on today, and we're going to work for a while until it's time to turn it off. My goal is to get through putting the top on, and then also going around and securing this thing with hot glue and little pieces. So if you have any questions or any feedback about this, I don't know what we're calling this, live building session, let me know. I'm very interested to hear what you think, and if you like this content. Again, you're going to see a cut down of this, so you don't have to watch all of this, but the idea is this is some content that you could turn on and it will help inspire you in your own building. So I'm going to get started. Let's do this. Let's make it happen. And thank you for joining me. And if you like what you see, please share, please subscribe, and please visit the website absolute-win.com. Also, I forgot to mention, I'm going to try to trim off the top of the chimney because the chimney is a little bit too tall. So those are my next steps. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, we are in the place to be.
Talk a little bit about failure here. I made a mistake here. I kind of mismeasured. I was probably being a little bit too cavalier, and I want to show you this hole should be kind of more like over here. So I got a big hole here, and a hole should be here. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to make the hole where it should be. This part I'm not terribly worried about because I think we're going to cover it up with paper mache. We'll cover it up with something. But let's get this together and have it be tight. Move on, fix it. You know, there's no wrong way to do this. That's what I'm trying to say. You gotta just work through it and find solutions. Okay, so let's get back to the part. Thanks. there. I'm still trying to get this to line up so that the box, which is perfectly cut to match this box, will line up with the hole for the chimney. Now, I probably should have measured, right? You know, like they say, measure twice, cut once. I'm cutting this in the third time cut and trying to get this right. I think I will get out my yardstick and measure it before I cut. But I'm almost there, and we're going to have it. I like the way it's all looking so far, so thank you for hanging with me. Share this if you like.
Whoa, 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 yeah, we are laying the place to be. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay guys, I kind of hit some technical glitches here. I turned off the music halfway through, and that's very hard to do because I have it programmed in to stay on. So I'm going to end up cutting this video. I'm going to tell you what I did here. I had this plan that I was going to have handles coming out of the top. Once I built those, I realized that when I pulled up on the handles, it kind of separated these two layers that I'm putting together. I want to hide the wire in between the two layers. So what I ended up doing was dropping the handles down into the inside of the ferry house so that the handles will be underneath. And that'll be kind of cool because you'll be able to maybe hang some things inside the ferry house, and you'll have like different, some accessibility that you can lift it up from underneath, and it seems pretty sturdy. I finally got the chimney to line up correctly, so that was an hour or so of finagling with just getting things to fit together. So my next video is going to be the glue gun. Look out for the glue gun. That's coming next. And I think I'm going to get right into it in a few minutes. So if you want to come back and join me, I appreciate it. I'm going to say goodbye in this video. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Thank you for working with me in my technical foibles. Here we go. Let's go out on a quote.
Yeah, we are laying the place to be.